Hey y'all, what's up? So this is case four from the office, and what I wanted to talk about was the loneliness epidemic that's going on. It's a real problem. And what inspired this episode is because I saw this woman on TikTok and she was like crying because she was by herself and she didn't have anyone to talk to. And I don't know if I'll ever personally go that far, but I do understand what she's saying. It's like sometimes you do want to have people around and you want to have people there to talk to or to hang out with. Or sometimes if you're going through a hard time, it pays to have just that positive energy around you. And I wanted to start off by saying that I think it kind of irks me when I hear a lot of people say they don't need anyone because that's a lie. The thing is, we are not all built to do it on our own. We're not built to do it on our own. We can't do it all on our own. And by you sitting up there denying yourself something that could potentially be beneficial and good for you in the future, that's a problem, my friend. I'm sorry. It's a problem and it ain't cool. Now, let me tell you something. Once a year, and I didn't do it the last couple years, but once a year, something that I do is I go through my cell phone and I look at all of my contacts and I go through and I delete numbers. And it's not that I'm trying to be petty or anything like that. What I'm trying to do is, first of all, I don't like clutter unless it's music, books, or movies. But I don't want numbers in my phone of people that I never hear from, or if I do reach out, they don't answer or they barely answer, because that tells me that you have no interest in bridging that gap and actually staying connected. Me, like I said in my last video, I stay in touch and I connect with who wants to connect back with me. I shouldn't always have to throw the bait out or throw the fish net out to see what I can catch. Oh, let me text this person. I haven't talked to them in a while. And then when they need something, then they come back and then they all of a sudden want to talk. I don't fly like that. So what I do is I go through and I look and I say to myself, we got all these numbers in our cell phone, but we never hear from these people. So why are the numbers there? The only numbers you should have are the people like your family members. It should be close friends and it should be business numbers. And it could be acquaintances, someone you may not consider a friend, but someone like, oh, he's good people. I'm gonna keep him. Or she's cool. She helped me with so and so, so I'm gonna be here for her. She may invite me to a birthday party once a year. We only get one birthday party a year. What am I saying? Those kind of people, yeah, you need to keep, close to you. But at the end of the day, a lot of us fail to do the work to keep things going. We want to sit up and say, oh, that's why I don't deal with people, and that's why I'm tired of people, and that's why this and that. But you know, you only have the right to say that if you know that you're doing what you're supposed to do. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do on your end, then you can't be mad at anyone else for not stepping up. When I go through certain things, or if I have something big that I'm doing and I don't have a lot of support, or if I need help with something, because like I said earlier, we can't do it all by ourselves. you know, you can't expect me to save the day for you. So those people, and it's not that I'm doing wrong for wrong or evil for evil, but I go just as far as you go. So my thing is, if you left me high and dry and you didn't care to communicate or anything like that, then I think you kind of know not to ask me to do anything for you. And if you try me, then it depends on what day I'm having. It depends on how much time I have, and it depends on what mood I'm in. I'll move when I move, just like that. Not when you move, like Ludacris said. I'm gonna revise it around a little bit. But I do that because you gotta, like I said before, you gotta show people how to you gotta show people how to treat you. And you have to demand your respect. And you don't necessarily have to have a falling out with a person, but you can just show them based on how you move. You can show them based on how you move. You can show them based on the decisions you make. Because a lot of times when you text someone, and not even phone call, let's just say text, you text someone, and then later on down the line, they're like, the top three excuses are, I didn't get it, I didn't see it because I was busy, or what's the other one? It's one more that I can't think of right now. But my thing is, it's not that, oh yeah, I don't have time. Well, a lot of times it's not that people can't do something. It's not that they don't have time. It's that they don't care to. That's the issue. They don't care to because they don't need anything from you. They don't care to because you are not a priority to them like they were to you. So you got to take that into consideration. And that's where this loneliness epidemic comes from, because we have a lot of selfish ass people walking around that don't want to do anything for anyone else if they're not getting nothing out of it. I've done so much stuff for people without getting anything out of it, because for me, it's just rewarding to know that I help somebody. It's rewarding to know that I know this person, you need help with this, so I can call this person and I can, bridge the gap and hook you two up, and you can take care of whatever it is you need to take care of. I've always been that type of friend or that type of family member. I have a lot of educated people in my family that have degrees and stuff that I don't have, and that have high levels of education that I'm far from. But when they reach another milestone, I'm happy for them. I'm not jealous or sitting there like, feeling some type of way because I'm not on that level. My cousin, for an example, she just got her degree in cybersecurity. No, no, no. I think it's a certificate. She got her certificate, and I texted her and congratulated her because I saw it online. I'm very proud of her. I love her dearly. If she ever sees this, she knows how I feel about her, because that's what kind of person I am. I love love. When you have love, when you have community, and when you're a villager, it combats the loneliness. Now, another way that you can combat the loneliness is simply by doing things like volunteering. When I was in high school, I volunteered during the summer for a very successful, well-known organization. I'll say it like that. And I had the best time ever. And I made some friends. I don't really talk to them now, but at the time, it was good. Clubs, volunteering, music, the people and the different artists I've collaborated with, with music. I always, keep in touch with them, or try to keep in touch with them, because for me, I get a lot of my creativity and a lot of my inspiration from being around different people. When you're sitting alone in solitary confinement, it's not good for you, and it definitely ain't good for me, because I don't have enough stimulation around me to thrive, to create, to write, to dream or imagine. So loneliness doesn't work good in my favor. A lot of y'all, especially in my age group and younger, you keep saying you don't need anyone, and when you get older, and let's say you're single, you live by yourself. What if you slip or fall in the shower? Who you gonna call? Because you just said you didn't need anybody. You said you don't need any friends. What if you're having a heart attack or you having a stroke? You can't call 911. You don't need you like being single, you like being by yourself. Who's gonna find you? And when someone do find you, it's probably gonna be too late. You don't want that. It's not cool. So it's something to think about, you know? You got to think about all of that kind of stuff. And whatever hardship you've had, because I've had friends and people I know, they say that because of past trauma, but it's past unresolved trauma. And my thing is, whoever did what to you, if you fail to go to therapy, you fail to find healing, you shoot yourself in the foot down the line, because there are beautiful people out here, but you keep saying that you don't need anyone, and you're going to find yourself old and alone with seven cats. Seven cats. It's okay to have a cat, but you need people around too. You need a village and a community. Ooh, ah, see, one of my friends, I must be important because it's late, and he just texted me now. We was talking about music earlier. See, that's what I'm talking about. You know. Anyway, despite how distasteful, maybe a lot of people in society have become, I always, always, always try to look for the brighter side in situations. I always try to look for the beautiful people. The people that you don't like, you don't need them. And it doesn't matter who they are, where they're from, what community they belong to, anything. You don't have to like them, but don't let the good and what could be a blessing for you suffer because of what other people do. Join clubs, join events. I got an event to go to this weekend. Actually, it's some type of like thing for family oriented. It's some type of community event, but I'm excited to go. I can't wait, because I can't wait to. You never know who you're gonna meet. But you got to meet those people and then invest your time into nurturing those meaningful relationships. And when you see that you're not getting out what you put in and that what you're receiving is not reciprocated, then just move on or spend less time with that person, because you got to set limits with people, because it teaches them. You got to set limits, and you got to know who not to spend your time on. It's very important. And feeling lonely does not mean that you're desperate. It's not desperate. It's not desperate. It is not desperate. You're human. We are meant to connect, people. You are meant to connect and engage with one another. We're meant to talk and to laugh. I'm so tired of everyone saying that they don't need anyone. Like I said earlier, every time I hear it, it's just like, you mean you don't need this person because this person is not who they're supposed to be, who they say to be. You don't not need anyone. I like being by myself at times too, but it's a balance. I like being by myself sometimes. Okay. So there's a difference. Another thing that really breaks my heart is, like, I remember when I was growing up, and even like back in like the 90s and stuff, I was very small, but my memory is very vague, but I just remember a time where like a lot of us would get together like with friends, or we get together with family, we play cards, or we go to the movie, or we watch, there was no streaming back then. So most of us, we would watch stuff at the same time. So we would all just get together and watch specials on television. A lot of people don't do that stuff no more. Everyone's very compartmentalized. And I always wonder, like, I always wondered what I could do to resolve the problem. And one of the things was, I knew that I wanted to be a music artist, because music does bring people together. And when I look at like concerts and stuff, I see a sea of crowd, and I see all of these people rejoicing and laughing, and there's just all this energy in the room, wherever it's at. That's life. Life is not sitting in solitary confinement and just moving, on your own and doing everything by yourself. And I'm just doing this by myself because it ain't cool. It ain't cool. You should want to be around people so they can pull out that darkness, or pull out, not pull out the darkness. We'll pull out the darkness, but I mean, pull out the darkness to raise up the light in you. It's very important. And I've been doing a lot of thinking, and the color is orange. All right. So if we're going to use social media, we can use social media to connect online, but we want to connect online in order to build community. And yeah, we're all strangers and whatnot, but like, we could do something where like we connect online, and we could schedule or set up events where we can get together and meet and talk, and, things like that. That's why I love organizations. That's why I'm going to this organization this weekend, because, you know, I want to connect with people. I really do. I love connecting with people. So, with all that being said, I just want to say that people, just stop. It's okay to focus on your life. It's okay to go after your goals. It's okay to go after your dreams. And it's okay to spend some time with yourself so that you can get to know yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you're your own best company, that's not a crime. But, stop being so self-interested all the time. It's not all about you. It's not all about you. It's about everybody. So we have to remember that with everything that we do, and with a lot of what we do. Spread the love, spread the joy, spread the laughter. Let's spread some amazing stories, and let's just connect. Okay? Because human connection, is I don't know, it's becoming an issue. I feel like it's almost like a pandemic or something going on. So yeah, just keep that in mind, okay? And until next time, don't forget to go out into the world, and don't be a moment, be a lifetime, okay? And a lifetime lasts so much longer than a moment, okay?